Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
As we begin 2025, all of us at the Dave and Juan More Time podcast want to wish you great success in the new year. Now, we can wish it all we want, but your butt has to get out there and make it happen. I mean, really. We'll be here to encourage you, but come on. You gotta get off that chair and take your shots. Or, don't. That's on you. Work that out, bruh. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed by a 1.
Woohoo!
America, America. Say, we took an extra week off, but
Yeah, we earned it.
still, you are
You're welcome.
absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. I just keep checking the list here. Juan, I am floored. You and I were left off this year's list for Presidential Medals of Honor.
Well, yeah, we might have been the only ones.
We were like the only ones left off. I think DJ Rhett might have got.
I think DJ. I don't know DJ Red personally, but I'm going to go ahead and guess he voted on the wrong side to get one of those.
Yeah, I guess so. And I don't know. That's just what was sticking in my mind as we started.
I don't think the president. I don't think those are always questionable, no matter who's awarding them. George Soros questionable.
Man,
I'm
listen.
not sure it's ever been that extensive.
Listen, we, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, and I'm not even exactly sure, but it's, I believe, am I saying it right? It's the Presidential Medal of Honor, right?
Yeah,
That's the official. Yeah, let me look up it here.
Which is the highest civilian award.
I'm sorry. Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Freedom, okay.
What was I saying before? Presidential Medal
You
of
said
Honor.
honor.
No, Presidential Medal
Shows how much I know.
of Freedom. And so these are, it's the nation's highest civilian honor presented to individuals who have made an exemplary, I can't even say it. That's why I can't get the award. I can't even say exemplary contributions to the prosperity, values, or security of the United States, world peace, or other significant societal, public, or private endeavors. The hell? Dude, they gave one of these to, if you don't know who George Soros is, this is what we're going to get. Okay, I guess.
Jump in the gun, or jump off straight into it.
Yeah, so.
George Soros is, many would view him a communist.
He's been
at least an anti-American.
Yeah, he was on 60 Minutes years ago. He in the Holocaust, he turned over, he was a snitch. He's a billionaire, very rich guy. Made his billions, they say, shorting the British pound. I mean, he's obviously a smart guy. You don't get $1 billion being. But the other thing, you may know some of his work. If you or someone you know has been mugged, threatened, killed, or if you obviously you're not, if you're listening to this, you haven't been killed. But if you wonder why, a big reason why so many of major U.S. cities are now hell pits, a lot of that has to do with George Soros. He
follow the money,
funding DAs. He figured out along the way that if you want to tear down a society, one of the better ways to do it is to destroy law and order. Yeah. And one of the easiest ways, because we have a system that is unfortunately or fortunately designed for honest people, right? That's the thing. Laws are laws as long as they get enforced. And if you get some district attorneys who have a lot of leeway to not prosecute things, and they just suddenly say, we're not going to.
Whenever you ask the question, how was that guy who just committed that crime out of jail when he just committed one not too long ago?
Oh, you hear dozens. There was one I read today. I think this dude was arrested 90 something times. and he was out on the street and created something, and committed some other, heinous crime. So that's some of the work you may be familiar with.
Yeah,
They
and our government is honoring that.
they gave that guy a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and actually his son, spawn of, was there to take it. They also gave one to Hillary Clinton,
Hillary, of
uh,
course.
who, in all honesty, has a longer kill list than Soros. So that's look, allegedly, just it's still one of my favorite things that pops up every now and then. It's like, do you know anybody who knows this many people who committed suicide? Right? You
Yeah.
start going down the list.
It's who else? Is it the publisher of Vogue or Cosmopolitan magazine?
Anna Wintour.
Yeah.
And she was, I believe, the character that they based The Devil Wears Prada on, right? So yeah, she's done. Well, they gave one to freaking Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. Made America smell good, and has made casual workday possible.
Thank you for your service, Ralph Lauren. They gave one to Michael J. Fox,
Yeah,
who
and I don't know. I know he does charitable work.
he's Canadian,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
Bono's not American.
and yes, Bono's on there too. Bono, I don't know. I don't know what your take
I
on
love
Bono is.
Bono, but I don't. Granted, I think he's he does some stuff for the world, but
He Jesus
Denzel
himself.
Washington's been on the board of
Jesus
girls.
himself did not have the God complex Bono has.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Bono defines egomaniac. And hey, but not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but there you go. He got one. Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
They gave a Presidential Medal of Freedom
For living with AIDS. I don't know.
to Magic. No idea. Denzel. They gave one to Denzel.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
everybody,
Denzel was like on the board of the Boys and Girls Club or something.
and okay, but they're just
I was on
throwing.
the board. I was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club many years ago.
I think you and I were snubbed. I mean, we were snubbed. I mean, this list, the one I got a lot of respect for, honestly, is Lionel Messi. You know Lionel Messi?
The soccer player.
He's the amazing soccer. He's my son's favorite. He's the amazing soccer player. Here's why I respect
And you know
Lionel
what?
Messi.
That's the only reason I recognize his name, because you and your son.
I have seen him play. I've actually seen him play twice. He's an exceptional. He may be one of the greatest soccer players to ever play, but somehow that's worthy. He has no ties to America. I mean,
Right.
I guess now he's playing here, but he is right. They gave that dude. But here's why I respect him. He didn't even show up. He didn't show up. He didn't send somebody to get it. I think
He said, "What is this?"
exactly. I think, and that also shows you where we are.
Yeah,
Like,
he's thinking maybe it's like one of those banquets where the award winners are expected to sell out a table at $200 a ticket.
yeah, I got to buy a table to come on in here, but and then I read something that was I don't know, it's sort of rumor, but hey, why not? It's kind of funny. The quote unquote White House insiders that talk about these things say that Kamala is, or I'm sorry, Kamala,
Pamela.
whatever. We've been through this before. Is ticked off because she didn't get one.
Well,
Because Obama gave one to Biden on the way out.
true.
Yeah, they started playing that game. So I don't know.
And I think, did Biden give one to Bill Clinton?
I'm not sure. Bill
Bill
but
Clinton has one. And
I read a
I'm
great
guessing
comment that
George
somebody
W. didn't
said.
give it to him,
Somebody basically said Trump needs to get back in office and declare these medals are no more by executive order.
Yeah.
They have been so, and it's not just this time, y'all. You can go down the list.
No, I mean, hey, look, I loved Rush Limbaugh. I'm not sure he deserved that medal, but they gave him one.
They gave him, hey, fair. You can say that. Like the criteria, but that's pretty much everything, man. It's they've lessened everything. Things that used to be a big deal, it's not anymore because they just whatever. But so Juan and I are a little bit upset.
Maybe next year.
We'll see.
So
Who only
keeping
knows?
things a bit on the political realm, but not very political. So, and I'll talk more about this in a bit. I was at this event this week in Atlanta. It was a church type event, not from my church, but so my wife and I volunteered. And there's people there from all over the country. One of the volunteers who is in the area where I was, a young guy from Romania.
Romania. Okay.
Dude came here just for this event.
Okay.
Is flying back to Romania today and going to work tomorrow. But so, as I often do when I meet people from places I don't really know anything about, once I get chit chatty with them, I say, so what's like the politics there? Um, and he said, well, they threw out the most recent election because they claimed the guy cheated, the guy that won, who was like a Trump clone.
Okay.
Uh, and because he said the guy's theme was "Make Romania Great Again," and
Murga.
he, yeah,
Murga.
said, he tried to do all the funny stuff like Trump and all the social media stuff and podcast in Romania. But then, so they threw out the election and ordered a new election. And since then, the people with the anti whatever that guy's name is, people are coming up with all kind of illegal things or dirt on him. They don't know when the next election is. But anyway, make Romania great again.
Make Romania great again. That's a well, more power to that guy. I hope they are able to do that. And then this is not political, but it's the news. So I was back in Louisiana. So those of you, we did take and it wasn't on Juan. It was totally on me. I got
Yeah.
stacked up and backed up, and it's it's that
We're
weird.
adding that week to your subscription, though, so you don't have to worry.
Correct. Yeah, the
Subscription
price,
renewal
yes.
will be due a week later.
We will America, you will not be charged for the episode. But then I realized a lot of the podcasts I listened to took the week or 2 weeks off,
Oh
or
yeah.
and so we it got stacked up. But so I was in Louisiana, and I wake up the morning of or I guess it was New Year's morning, right? The New Orleans
Yeah.
terrorist event. And there's nothing funny about this at all. Okay, let me just say this. There's nothing, it's horrific. Okay, so this is not about, that's awful. Prayers to everybody. That was tragic. But that morning in Louisiana, so it must have been, it happened on New
Wednesday
Year's
morning.
Eve.
It happened on New Year's Eve at 3 in the morning. So technically it was New Year's Day.
Okay.
But still what I would consider New Year's Eve night.
Right. Okay.
When people were
So
still out partying for New Year's
right.
Eve.
My son actually flew out that. Thankfully, he wasn't in New Orleans. He actually flew out of New
My
Orleans.
son was in New Orleans, not in the
Okay.
court or anything, but he was there with friends for the Sugar Bowl.
Okay. So when it first hit, and I don't know, I roll out of bed in the morning. I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm getting ready, and I punch up various things. I punch up X, Twitter. I punch up. It's where I get my news. Usually right off the bat, you find out if anything's happening overnight, and then I think the first thing I might have hit was Facebook. And it was a guy I know. The dude lives in Georgia. I had no idea what was going. Anyway, checking in safe. Or from the New Orleans. I don't know if it's a terrorist attack or
No, it said the vehicle attack.
I don't know the first one though. I think they went. I think they changed it to the vehicle attack because now exactly. Apparently the vehicle did it, but and a couple things there. One, we need a new rule on who needs to check in safe. Y'all, if we have no idea, put it this way. If you have family who knows you're somewhere, you contact your family directly. If I don't know, I don't care. I didn't know you were. I'm glad you're safe. Hey, you can mark yourself.
I didn't know you were in danger.
Didn't know you were in danger. If you're now, our buddy Pete Torito, that was an interesting
Works
one.
in the quarter.
He works down the street.
Right. Very close to it because he's on that end of Bourbon.
Okay. So, he checked
Logical
in.
thought. Logical
Correct.
thought.
Check in with Pete. But so all this is going on. And
in fact, I sent him a note or commented on his ad asking specifically where it was.
Right. all the fun we make of New Orleans, I realize we don't make enough fun of New Orleans, or we don't criticize because I I'm not lying. I forgot that the mayor was Latoya. Forgot. Totally didn't even register in my mind till she's on a mic. And but here's what I'm gonna tell you. Of the people on the mic in the first day, they made her look competent. Like Latoya came off looking, you know, if you didn't know her story and didn't know all the other nonsense she does, you'd have thought the FBI person.
Right. The FBI said not a terrorist attack.
What a first of all, officer nose ring, because it's against FBI policy to be in uniform or be on duty with a nose ring. She had one. Now, I don't know if she had to take it off before she came on.
He could have been out partying.
Might have. And she was the assistant, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't know how old she's like 24 years old. Dude, look like someone you don't know that you would be 100% sure she had the experience to run the carpool at the elementary school down the street.
Maybe she was reassigned from Trump's security
Man,
detail.
right. She may have been working Butler, Pennsylvania back in the time. But so she gets on there and Juan, I mean, literally the bodies are still in the street. I mean, it's literally this is still a
An
dang near
active
an
crime scene.
active crime scene. And she's right off the jump saying this is not a terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, what? Who? Huh? Now, first thing out of Latoya's mouth, New Orleans was hit by a terrorist attack.
Right. I mean, in the first reports I read, which are pretty early. I mean, we drove to Atlanta that day, so we were up and on the road fairly early, I guess. ISIS flag in the truck.
Yeah, I see. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Was he flying it? I know.
See, I thought they kept saying in the truck, then it looked like there was a flagpole on the back of the truck.
Yeah. Don't know the
But
story.
everything I read is in the truck.
But okay, so let's build on this. So you got again, I forgot. Latoya was even the mayor. She ended up being the one that, like, all right, okay. This FBI person, good grief. Hey, good luck, New Orleans. But she wasn't even the worst one. Did you have any idea that the New Orleans police chief was who it is?
No, that old woman.
Oh my gosh. And it's not just, hey, and before anybody gets all mad, like, what you got wrong? What do you got against some literally old woman in a way too big hat? You notice that?
Yeah.
She made Barney Fife look like he was on top of things. She used to be the police chief in Oakland, I think it is.
Yeah, they cut somebody loose or somebody quit, and then it was a whole
Her track record.
it was a total Latoya,
Well, let's put it this way. Yeah.
Fiasco hiring that person.
Well, this person, this police chief, I thought it was a joke, Juan. I thought it was a joke when I first saw the picture, and she's standing next to again the officer nose ring from the FBI, and it didn't register with me that who that person was. This old, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm old. She's older than me. All right.
Right. You ain't hired me as your chief.
Old woman with a huge cop hat on, like look comically big. And I'm like, she is. And then later, when
If you haven't seen it, but you did see like Beyonce on Christmas Day at the Texans game, a lot of people had these big, like, studded hats on with all kind of bling on it. It's about that size.
it was, I don't know if I was going to see if I could capture it here or not. I thought I might have done a screenshot of it. But anyway, but then I think it's the next day or later that day, or it kind of all blends. They're talking to her, and there's questions out there because the Super Bowl is coming, y'all. I mean, they're supposedly getting ready. The Super Bowl is
right. That's why the barriers were being replaced.
Which makes you wonder, how does this terrorist guy know that there are no bad. How do you know that? Now, granted, maybe
He
he went to
said
terrorist
something came
school.
out today that he was in the city in October and November,
Okay, possible. But the fact
or
that
maybe November and December.
they do have or did have these yellow, and I forget what you exactly call them, but there are movable um restraints. It's like they're yellow. I know that they're
Right. It's
yellow.
like if you tipped it over, I think it would just pretty much jam your vehicle.
Right. They had those. Those should have been
Hmm.
at a
Yeah.
minimum in place. The police chief did not know they had those.
Yeah.
She makes the comment, whatever. Well, I didn't like okay, I hate New Orleans. Man, are y'all even trying? Are y'all even trying? Because we hold out hope, right? It's
Well, you sit here and you said, I've said for years, no city does big events better than New Orleans.
well, we used to think that, but
Yeah.
everybody's in we here's what happened. Okay, here's all right, here's a Dave theory, Juan. New Orleans always did big events well. New Orleans has always been the one of the most corrupt cities, as
Hmm.
major U.S. cities are. But New Orleans, I mean, it is an incredibly corrupt. They've always been corrupt. All the politicians, the levy board, corrupt. But there was a certain level of competence, right? Both sides used to be competent. You couldn't get away with being horrible at your job. You could be a crook. You could be caught taking payments. You could
Right. So
be,
long as you did your stuff, you're all right.
as long as what used to be the line, Bourbon Street's the safest place to be in New Orleans. How many times we told that to people growing up and
Hmm.
and even out of there? We used to tell people like they were worried about going to Bourbon Street. And it
Yeah.
was
I
always
always say if it looks like you shouldn't go, don't go, but pretty much stay on the street.
well,
Yeah.
pretty much. No, it used to be. No, man, bourbon's cool. Bourbon, and that used to be the line. New Orleans is not gonna kill the golden goose. They're not gonna
Right.
let bad things happen on their cash cow street. Well, then you get incompetence. Then you get, we kind of joke about it a bit, but no, that stuff comes home to roost.
Well, and if you're not familiar with Bourbon Street and the layout of the streets, the main artery of a street that would flow into Bourbon Street is Canal Street,
Correct.
which is where the guy entered
Right.
Bourbon Street.
If there was going to be a place that you needed to have just block that baby off, like you cannot, right? And you saw the footage of what he did. He just went
Yeah,
around
just went around.
they just left a big enough space that you could drive a full size truck right around that, so it's not quite the level of incompetence of the Secret Service with Trump. I mean, because that was, you have to look like, okay, somebody had to be in on
Right.
it. There's no way, it's impossible to be as incompetent as they claim they were on that thing. This was close. This was like, because I don't think anybody would say that anybody on the police force or anybody, nobody's accusing this police chief of being in on it. Nobody's accusing
No,
anybody.
no, it's just
It's being as incompetent as you can possibly be, just as incompetent as you can possibly be. And
yeah. Now, I didn't like the news reports that talk about the street ballers that are there to prevent terrorist attacks. It's not what they're there for. They're there to stop people from driving down the street. I mean, yeah,
I've long, and I don't know if they're going to come. I'm comfortable that whatever the worst answer is the one they're going to come up with.
yeah.
But I could see eventually you just shut down. You just turn parts of that part of town into pedestrian only.
Well, because again, Bourbon Street is open to traffic during the day.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
little weird.
it is weird.
But
I don't
somebody's
feel
got to make deliveries to all those shops and everything.
correct. Yeah,
So if you're
correct.
ever on Bourbon Street during the day and you're walking on the street, there are times you're gonna sidestep step to the side to let a vehicle pass by.
Yeah, I don't think. I think I may have one time in my life mistakenly. I don't know that I have. I know I've driven across Bourbon Street. I don't think I've driven down.
I've driven down it,
You know, um,
like in the
uh,
middle, in the middle of the week. Years ago, I had some when I was working for a sign company. One of the courthouses
mhm.
uh in the quarter, the Supreme Court building was one of my accounts, and it was just hard to get to, so I missed it. And it's 1 block off of Bourbon, so I just made a U-turn,
But
or you had to go up a block. But yeah,
but most of the time, Bourbon Street is so freaking disgusting. I don't even want to get that
right.
stuff.
You
I don't
don't
want to get
want,
that stuff on my tires.
right. You don't want to be on Bourbon Street when there's not alcohol and bodies to absorb the funk.
Woo, man, your tires stink when you get out of there. And that's that special Bourbon Street. The streets make their own gravy,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to speak. You
Um,
know, need a good
but
rain there. But
we talked about our friend Peter, our friend Rick, we also talk about regularly. Was there? I talked to him. Actually talked to him that day. He was he was there all day long. Um, young man from who graduated from the high school my daughter attends was one of the victims. So I was
okay, sorry.
sliding him that info. Uh, but so we talked, and he said it was like the most surreal thing to be around, New Orleans all day. He said everything was just shut down, and it was just eerie to be there.
Well, I guess they let the cameras and stuff. But okay, here's Bizarro World. Here's where, and I don't know if it's somebody's plan. Conspiracy Dave coming here. Um, but the day after this thing happens, right? I don't know the name of the guy that some weird things like this guy and then some other dude that blew up a Tesla truck over in Las Vegas, right? In front of the Trump's building in Las Vegas. Both of those guys are military from the same.
They were the
Um,
same base, but I don't think they were ever there at the same
okay.
time.
So it could be, again, that one could be random. It's weird, kind of random. But this guy, the guy that the Bourbon Street terrorist, okay,
Yeah.
a day later, a day, maybe a day and a half later, they got some reporter walking around his apartment, showing stuff, talking like, finding like, this computer and this, and that's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, how does this happen? Like, what's the policy? So you
Yeah.
can't.
Is that an active crime scene?
That's when they want you to think
Or
something else.
yeah,
That's
and
when
under investigation.
they and it's just, look, it's all over the place. You got that person that shot up the school in Nashville about a year and a half
Yeah.
ago. I don't think we've ever seen
No,
the written what do they call it,
the manifesto.
manifesto from that person. It's like there's some they want you to see, and some they don't, and
Yeah.
some so
Hey,
it's
but kudos to the Tesla truck.
apparently.
That baby contains an explosion.
I saw one getting a ticket here the other day. I almost stopped and take a picture. I didn't want to make the cop mad. I was like, I never, they're everywhere here now, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
they got a bunch of them here. This is some of the stuff and I guess it's true because they said the guy could have technically, yeah, because I wanted to say, okay, well, how do you shoot yourself and then blow it up? And they
right.
said technically he could have set it on self-drive mode, shot himself.
I don't believe any of it, man. I
No, because
don't.
there are also people who said they killed a person and they just put him in there,
I
put
don't
the
believe.
body
But
in
this is
there.
also Las Vegas. You remember the largest people. Here's what's interesting. The largest mass shooting in American history happened
Yeah.
right there in Las Vegas, and they basically never told you anything. You think one dude did that? You think all the people that came out, they were saying, no, man, there were shots coming from here and here. And, it's just one of those things, man. It's at some point, if you're not looking at some conspiracy theories, y'all, you ain't paying attention. I'm just,
Well, yesterday driving back from Atlanta, one of my daughter's friends came with us, and just out of nowhere, she starts talking about how the moon landing was fake, and I said, "Oh God, I got to introduce you to Dave."
yeah, it's sad. It was fake, man. It was fake, y'all. I wish it wasn't.
I choose to go the other route, but that's all
No,
right.
no. Listen, I wish it wasn't. I wish we actually had gone. I really do. I wish we actually had gone. But y'all, it's just like y'all finding out the thing with, like, with JFK. They've basically come out and
I asked her
admitted.
about that. She didn't really know much about it
Well,
because I was
no,
going with
because
all
now
your
it's
theories.
sort of ancient history to a lot of these people. But there's flat out our own government took out a president. Well, they tried to do it the other day. Hey, look, whatever. It is what it is, man. They've now just about come out and admitted it. But I was listening to somebody the other day talking about that. How is it? It's like, is it 60 years now? 60 something?
Yeah, more than 60. Yeah, I think it's I think it was 62.
Whatever. Ain't nobody still alive.
No.
So they're not protecting anybody who's still alive. They're protecting some agencies that still exist. Is what ends up happening. But or that's my theory, y'all. And I didn't go looking for that moon stuff. I'm not. It's one of those things. We all grew up saying, "Yeah, okay, it happened," and it's not until people start digging and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, how how do we do that?" And people start looking at the footage and going, wait. This is back when everybody was staring. Nobody had TVs, or very few had TVs, black and white and whatever. And then you start looking at actually how space works. And here's how I can tell you: is my money would be if you said, "Okay, Dave, you have every penny you own. We know the exact truth, exact truth if this actually happened or not. Which way you going to bet?" I'm betting no. I'm betting we didn't. Just for all the and no way to get there. We still can't get there. They couldn't do it now. They couldn't do it now. Musk is even, all right, you got me down that rabbit trail. Sorry, but
All right, I'll change the subject again. So I mentioned Atlanta. So we were in Atlanta for for a chunk of the week. My wife and I volunteered. My daughter was attending this thing called Passion. It's a big Christian youth conference in Atlanta, and it was held like multi-day, lots of great speakers. Sadie Robinson of Duck Dynasty fame was one of the speakers. Lots of great, if you're into contemporary Christian music, lots of great musicians. But dude, 20,000 students in this place at the crack of dawn and not leaving until it's over late at night. It's where the Atlanta Hawks play.
mm-hmm.
Um,
So you were downtown.
But the most, it was
downtown.
right next to the Mercedes-Benz
I've been
dome or whatever they call it.
okay. So I have not been. I've been to Atlanta in the last few years, but is the baseball. Let's see. The baseball.
I don't know where the baseball
That's
is.
how they built that north of Atlanta. They built that up north. So the Mercedes-Benz Dome is in downtown.
Right. It's right next to the Atlanta World I think they call it the World Congress,
Congress,
which is a big convention center.
It's a shame I forget. I used to be there all the time. We used to live in
my daughter used to cheer in there. It's also, but it's not anymore. It was CNN's world headquarters.
Correct. Yes.
So
that
the
tour before.
State Farm Arena is adjacent or connected to that. And then there's like a food court in there and everything. So we cut through there. But dude, when I'm telling you, like doors opened at 8, people are in line at 6 in the morning, and it's 27 degrees with a wind blowing that you wouldn't believe. So kudos to all the people who went there, but kudos to me for doing it too, because they had way too many rules. I'm not I don't like to be the rule follower.
And you were there to work.
Yeah, I was there to work. And originally I thought, because I like all the music, and I said, okay, well, they have door holders at my church, which just means, you hold the door and people open and say, "Welcome to church." And when church starts, you go in. I thought that was my job. No. Started the first event was Wednesday night or Thursday night at 7 p.m. We had to be there at 10 a.m. for training. And you stay there. And I was like an usher basically. So in sections that were reserved. So if you brought a big group, you had some reserved seats. Right. So, but I had to check armband and stuff like that. And I said, Jesus Christ, how much training do I need for this? Doesn't seem real hard.
Apparently some. They don't Atlanta doesn't train their vote counters that well. I mean, so you got
but I did, in the spirit of Christianity, got into it with a couple of people trying to get their way in without showing me their armbands.
So don't do that.
Man.
This is Juan freaking Seminole you messing with here. I came all the way from
my section, bro. I got a job. I'm gonna do it.
I came all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana to crack your head, baby. Yeah.
But so on that training day, we actually had a lunch break, and went to Chick-fil-A that's in the arena.
Right.
$27. for an 8 pound, 8 ounce, 8 piece meal.
I'm about to say, if it was 8 pounds, you got a pretty good bargain.
Yeah,
Eight
no, 8 ounce,
eight
8 piece
piece?
meal. Yeah,
8 piece. Well, I'm gonna guess with a drink and some fries.
it was a la carte because I think the nuggets were like $10. The if you wanted fries, that was another 9 and maybe another 6 for the drink.
You got to feel because they got some kids that showed up with some money. You know, just like I guess most of them probably come with groups. You would think they would have.
Yeah, yeah, they do. And yeah, because it wasn't cheap. I mean, I think
Oh
tickets
man,
for was
listen,
like a hundred and a half.
it's criminal. It's criminal. I'll give
And
credit.
it's not the people putting it on. It's the arena that
Right.
does their stuff because they sell you this reusable fountain drink cup for $10. But then when you go to get in, it's the arena security running security. And some
No.
will say, "Oh, you can't come back in here with that."
What?
I
Oh,
said,
that's
"Watch me."
just yeah. Watch me.
Yeah.
I
So
Yeah, it's terrible, man. I saw, and I would give credit to. I think it's a basketball team, an NBA team. I'm not big on the NBA anymore, but it was an owner somewhere, and he dropped all the prices in the arena to like $3 for a hot dog, and so they basically selling basic food at
right.
at like Costco kind of prices, saying look, it's already that the families can't afford to come to these things.
Well, it's like you got 20,000 people in this place that otherwise wouldn't be here for these 3 days.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. I feel that way at the football games. I feel that way when I'm in the
Yeah.
Superdome. I feel that way when I'm in NRG. It's like I have wait, how much for a beer? Get out of here, man. I mean, but yeah, I guess you don't have to go if you don't want to go.
Yeah. No, I know. My favorite part was we I'm like you, I don't like the valet park, but your option, we're staying at the Omni downtown, which is basically you can walk into the
Yep.
arena from there.
Yeah.
And your option was to valet or park on the street. And I said, I'm not leaving my car on the street for 3 days.
Dude, this is Atlanta. So hey,
Yeah.
those of you in New Orleans, look, I think you're still ahead, but Atlanta's a mess, man.
Yeah. So
Atlanta, you talk to anybody, and again, we used to live north of Atlanta. I was always in Atlanta. I mean, I used to love Atlanta. And it probably still has some pretty decent parts of it. You talk to anybody who lives around Atlanta, man, look, it ain't what it was, y'all. It ain't
well,
what it was. So maybe
I
it'll
don't
come
know.
back one day.
The Omni's a nice hotel, but so since we decided since we were valet, and I said, all right, we don't have that many bags, we're just bringing our stuff up. Then I noticed my wife's got a 24-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper in the back of the car. And she says, "Can you grab that?" I said, I'm not looking. I'm looking like enough white trash carrying my own bags. I'm not carrying the Dr. Pepper.
I'll do that, man. You pull into some of
She
these
brought it
fancy,
up. I
yeah,
knew she would if I didn't.
you
So
bring into some of these fancy places. Yeah, it's you like hope I don't like the ones that jump out and they almost give you no choice. That ticks me off. They
yeah,
got the thing out there. You pull up in an Uber or whatever, and before you can even get out, Uber guy pops the back of his car, his trunk, whatever, and then they're putting the stuff on there for that ticks me because part of me
yeah,
wants to prove a point, saying no, 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 bro, I'm not. My bag has wheels. I
yeah. Well,
specifically.
they did that when we got to the car. It's like
Yeah,
grabbing everything to throw it in, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
I got through the airport on my own, bro. I can get from here to the desk.
right,
I'm cool.
right. It's the bag is in my hand, and the hatch on the SUV is open.
Well, we're gonna bring it up to the room for you. I don't like playing that game either. So,
Mhm.
wait, so it's gonna cost me another $5
Yeah,
to get from the lobby to my room. But again, I guess it's first world problems. Speaking of first world problem, maybe it's like old world. Went to mass today. Different uh, Catholic church here, and it's the one that sometimes does stuff in Latin. So it's kind of hope, man, don't let it be Latin. Don't let it be Latin. And it wasn't, which was good. But I don't know what's going on here. I guess because one thing about Catholic, we're supposed to be pretty much the same everywhere. That's always the thing. It's like I can go.
it's the franchise of churches.
Exactly. I can pop in. I can go to church in San Francisco. I can go to church at St. Patrick's in New York. I can go to church up in Chicago, and I've done them all. I've been all these, right? And this is the mass. Well, here, so they're singing everything, man, and they got the priest. And look, not belittling, but the priest looked, he's like 117 years old. I have no idea, an old Filipino guy. And I mean, he's a priest. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure you're a good dude, but he's angry looking. You ever see these people that just got an look of anger on them just for no good reason? I mean, you're walking into church. You look mad.
Yeah, you said he looked 100 years old, man. He might be angry.
Okay. So, but then apparently this mass we're at, they sing everything, everything.
And when I was going to Catholic church, man, every priest that ever sang the stuff, I always said it had to be a prerequisite that you can't sing to be a priest.
Well, here's the deal. I don't his singing wasn't that bad, but his voice was going. So he was slow. And then when he had to actually like talk about stuff, he was always having to cough. One time, and I was dozing. I mean, I wasn't dozing off. I was dazing off. There's a difference between dozing off and dazing off. I wasn't sleepy, but I would just find myself.
Right, you're zoning out, and
well, because hey, let's try this one. If you and I started singing the rest of this podcast,
yeah.
you
watch the viewership go down.
Oh man, people be like, just singing stuff. So there was one time, dude, I thought he had a stroke. He just stopped. And he was quiet like 10 seconds. And I want to look around because this is not a church that I normally go to. So I want to turn to some of these people saying, is this normal? Like, should somebody get up there and give him a tap on the back or something? And he started up again and he's doing whatever. And my wife gets annoyed with me for many reasons, but especially in church, because she claims my voice.
She wants you to be reverent no matter what.
She claims my voice carries, and I don't think it always carries. There's sometimes, I mean, when you do what, do for a living, you can't whisper. You got to project, standing in front of people. But I think I'm pretty good at, doing that 2 foot. Well, I guess I'm not. But I think she's just paranoid about people because we had a weekend full of things where I was making comments for her ears only. We were at several different places where I'm making comments that would horrify. I mean,
So you had practiced up.
Oh, yeah. You didn't want anybody hearing some of the stuff I was saying about some of the people and some of the surroundings we were at. So I think I'm pretty. So she was annoyed with me, and because we're in the, if you remember, you haven't been a Catholic in a while, but we got a double kneel down situation, right? We kneel. Do something, stand up.
Look, man, I know when.
In 1 year, I mean, look, I don't know what part you remember. I mean, you're an old guy now.
I remember them all.
Okay, so we're in that first kneel down section time, and I'm not kidding. I think he did the same thing over. I was dazing out, so it could have been me.
The first kneel down is the long one.
It's a long way. It was a really long.
That's the one you can't wait for them to say through him, with him, and in him, because that's your signal. I'm about to get up.
Oh, I think we've changed that since then, man. It's funny. Yeah. Oh, they did that, man. They blew us away a few years ago. They started changing certain. Perhaps you knew forever that it takes you another 3 years to what do we say now? And I still go back. I get a brain fart, and I'm doing the old guy. I'm just gonna do what I did the first.
Yeah, when I'll go to Catholic every now and then, stuff with my dad and stuff, and I'll still say it also with you.
Yeah, but no, look at my wife. We're kneeling, and she doesn't. Apparently, we're not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be talking when there's some, some holy stuff going on. But I just looked over. I said, I think he just did this. Is he repeating this? Heck, I thought he had a stroke a little while ago.
Like a boomerang for those young people.
Man. But anyway, so that was it. It's one of those things, you come out of mass and it's just sometimes you barely broke even. You barely broke even because, right? You shouldn't be frustrated coming out.
You traded the time, got some grace, but wasted the grace.
Wasted it on, and then we had a quick vote because my son Jesse was here with us today. And he had to head off to work. So it was like, well, let's get some food, or let's do so what do you want to go somewhere? You want to just do pickup? And he was like, how about some Popeyes? Never gonna say no to Popeyes, right? drive up to the Popeyes down the street from my house, and I was laughing because as we're pulling up, and there's no, I was excited because there was nobody in the drive-up lane, and it was about 12:30
That
or
meant your
so.
wait was only going to be 15 minutes.
Well, I don't know, but I was excited because I saw no line, and as I'm getting ready to just break some laws going through a one parking lot to get to where we're going, my wife says, "Wait, hang on, I think I have a coupon." A what? A coupon? I said, "You have a random Popeyes coupon?"
It's in my wallet somewhere.
So I got
Yeah.
to pull up and wait. Man, I'm 25 yards from the drive-up window thinking, boy, if somebody gets there before, I'm going to be aggravated. But she found it, man. It was a 10-piece and 2 sides for $21.
Dude, that's a deal.
That is a deal. It is a deal. So
It's cheaper than the 8 nuggets I bought at Chick-fil-A.
so I'll pull in, but then she had to coach me on how to do it, man. I'm a 59-year-old man having to be coached on how to order with a coupon at
Nah,
Popeye.
I tend to either, if I'm driving, then I'll let somebody, I'll let somebody lean over, or I'll go up to the passenger window and make my daughter.
Oh, it's so funny because
do it.
she was coaching me like we were in the Special Olympics, man. I mean, we pull up and she's like, "Okay, you're gonna tell her I have an order and have a coupon. You got to tell her that." I'm waiting.
Gotta do it before they ring it up.
You know, would you like to try the? No, ma'am. I have a coupon. Oh, great. What kind of coupon do you have? And my wife had coached me on this. I'm going to give you the number. You have to give her the number.
Oh, man.
I'm like, she says, "What's the number on your coupon?" And I didn't know what the number was going to be. My wife didn't trust me to read it. So she called. There's like a 4 code. So I said, "Why? It's code number 58, blah, blah." Very good. But your sides. And I was like, "Man, look at that." Then we pull up to the drive-up window. And my wife decides we won't pay cash because we're on that kick now. We don't want to be, apparently, we don't want to be traced, Juan. We don't want,
No.
we don't want the government, although they're on our phones. They know exactly what we're doing, what we're saying. But, we like paying stuff with cash now, apparently. So, all right. So my wife's asking me, how much was it? Like, I'll remember. Did you remember? I knew it was 23 something. I think I remember 23 with
I don't pay
tax.
enough.
With tax. So she's a little bit disappointed with me that I can't tell her because she wants to, when she pays cash, dude, she doesn't want to pay. Okay, the bill is 23, which turned out to be 23.80. She doesn't want to give you 20
change.
She breaks out the change. And I realize I'm sitting there, nice lady. I give her the coupon, say, "Hang on a sec, how much is it?" And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I looked at it, I said, "Honey, we look like we can't afford this Popeyes." You realize
So,
like,
yeah, my dad's like that. I tell you, you know what? I seldom have cash, but I never have exact change.
we do. My wife was in my car the other day coming back from Louisiana, and she saw, and I don't even know how, Juan, I don't even know how I get change that accumulates like it does because I don't
either. I don't
try to
it's
pay with cash. I guess I do now and then I never do anything with the coins.
we have it's an old hurricane or bigger than a hurricane glass in our bathroom that coins go in there. And every morning, I think she's fessed up to it, but I think it's so my wife didn't want me to realize I was doing this. But every morning she stops at Circle K and gets a Polar Pop, whatever the hell that is. I think it's just a big drink. So she takes the exact amount of change out of that glass.
Hey, there you go.
And my whole thought is, how is there still change in that glass? Because it doesn't even seem to be going down.
It's funny, man. Change is like dandruff. It's like, wow, how does this, and apparently got enough. Apparently I got enough in my car in the cup holders that she said, "You better get rid of this stuff. Somebody will break into you got enough money showing to break in." I'm like, man, that would
See, and
suck.
I don't even leave it there because that's I don't like it to rattle in the cup holder, and if I put like a can of Dr. Pepper in there, it'll rattle.
I just turned the music up a little louder. It's no, it's not a big deal. But we Oh, and I don't want to say this in a mean way. It's late to the podcast anyway, but I remember I wanted you to remind me. It just
I
dawned on
did.
me.
I know it. I got it written down.
You
I was
wrote.
about to segue to that.
So let me start off by saying, and it's an establishment. It's in Houma. We were there for the week. Yeah, we went after Christmas, and after church on a Sunday, or no, actually, it was actually new. I don't even know when it was, dude. It was well,
No,
went
it
to
was
church.
before Christmas
I
because
went to
we
a lot
did.
of church. I told that to my wife. I said, man, this Wednesday stuff, because I went to church on Christmas Eve. I went to church on that Sunday. I went to church on New Year's Day. I went to church. It's like, I was like, man, honey, I said, she doesn't like when I say stuff like that, but it's like, I think I'm 4 masses into, and then a wedding on top of that. So yeah, I've been at 5 different, but okay. We go, when I was eating, we went into, Peppers. There's a Peppers.
Pepper's Pizzeria, right? There's one in Thibodeau.
Okay. I've never been to that one. Oh yeah. Well, it's a little
It's,
one
yeah, it's downtown.
downtown. Is it still open?
I
Not
don't
sure.
know. I
don't
think
know.
I know they had trouble staffing it way back after the hurricane.
Right. Yeah.
But it's the same people that own it.
Okay. Well, nice one, like out there in Houma. So let me say the good thing is the food's good. I mean, the food, pizzas, the menu, a lot of stuff on there. It's all good. Bruh. Bruh. We got in there. The Saints were about to kick off. We didn't even order appetizers. We just got whatever, talked to I think we got our food at halftime.
Nice.
Dude. And to her poor thing, Paul bet, her thing, our little, I'm sounding like an old Cajun guy. Paul bet this waitress we had, it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. It
Her
was her birthday.
or her first day?
Birthday.
Okay.
She turned 24 that day.
I should probably have been out celebrating the night before.
She did not. No, no, she was nice. But here's what happens, and this is where I can do coaching. I'm a coach. I'm a coach
You're
at
a
heart,
giver,
Juan.
Dave. You're a giver.
I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I like. Remember, I used to say this. Well, my goal in life is to get to a point. I just want to walk up to people, tap them on the shoulder, and say, "Hey, let me help you out with this. You seem to be
Seem to be
struggling.
stupid.
Yeah, you might not be a stupid person, but you apparently hit a stupid hurdle right here that you're having trouble climbing, getting over. So she's one of these people that when she realizes, apparently, that our food is taking for freaking ever, right? It's terrible. I guess she thinks we're going to be upset. So she just avoids us. You know, the waitresses that have the
Mm-hmm.
skill, the ability to walk by and never look over at you?
Right.
Never. Right. So what happens in the meantime? On top of the fact you ain't got food, your drinks.
Drink's empty.
So you got, and it just gets it worse. Like if that's the case, and most people have sense, like we're not gonna blame you. You can later on when I finally, dang near stood up. Like I'm gonna do better. Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She must have said sorry 7 times, and I'm like, no, 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 no. That's okay. You don't have to be sorry.
Right. Life happens. I get it. I just want my food.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and
I'm hungrier than you are sorry.
she's like, I don't know what's going on. It never used to be this way. It was this way last night too. The manager's in the kitchen right now. Blah blah. And I'm like, okay. How about drinks? You can control, right? Just bring out refills. This is how you manage an upset. Nobody's blaming you for the kitchen. But yeah, man, unbelievable. We ordered before kickoff and it came right about halftime. It was enough that I texted you. Remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Now it may get better. And like I said, I'm giving the upside. The food came, pizzas we had
Again,
were
not
fantastic.
a football fan. That's generally about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So
Hour and 15.
maybe I'm lying. It was about an hour. So it could have been maybe the kickoff, but
No, but it depends on the first half. Yeah, football game lasts typically 3 hours. First half
it was a
goes
minute,
little bit
bro.
quick.
It was a minute. So try a little harder, You can do it, Peppers. You can do it. The food was good. My son, I had both my sons there. One, it was good the holidays. And one got the triple pepperoni. Dude, triple pepperoni. I don't know how to measure it. The amount of grease. You got to be a 26-year-old guy in pretty good shape to eat a triple pepperoni pizza and not have an instant clog right there. But he ate on that thing for 2 days though. So I mean, that's
Yeah, well, that's a lot of pepperoni, man.
pepperoni don't go bad. There's so many
No,
sulfates and
no,
stuff in there. You can probably leave a
not
pepperoni.
now. When RFK Jr. takes over.
You can leave a pepperoni pizza in your car or like all day long. Now, granted, your car's they're going to smell like a pepperoni
Yeah,
pizza for about a month,
a
but
month.
you could still eat it. But there you go. So we're time. We're having so as we talk here, we're doing this podcast on a Sunday afternoon. Temperature's dropping about 3 to 4 degrees an
Dude,
hour outside at my house right now.
it's 72 right now, and it's right at 5 p.m. So I think our high today was 76.
We got
Tomorrow it will be down in the 20s and ain't getting out of the low 40s.
we got to 80 today. We're getting to 30 in the morning. So we got a 50-degree drop. And somebody posted this a while ago. It's from the local ABC station saying Southeast Texas at its finest. It says, for those keeping track, and this happened a few hours ago, we now have, at the same time, a tornado watch.
Yeah, we've been having one all day.
Listen, a tornado watch, a freeze warning, a wind advisory, a gale warning, a rip current warning, and a cold weather advisory. All at the same time.
Well,
Southeast Texas, baby.
My daughter's supposed to be going to dinner with a friend of hers tonight. And I said, the weather's going to be terrible tonight. And she says, why? It looks fine now. I said, it's in the mid 70s and it's going to be, below freezing tomorrow. That change doesn't happen that easily without some drastic system coming through.
How old do we have to be? And I don't know, maybe it happened earlier for us or not. I get that all the time too. It's like when I'll tell one of my sons who are, they're intelligent young men,
Yeah.
and you tell them, hey man, weather's going to get bad. Looks good right now. Yeah. That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Or that would be the point. Yes, it's 80. It's going to get to 30. That typically
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
That involves a little something happening.
Yeah.
But we got torrential rain that came through here about an hour ago. And there you go.
We're getting that tonight.
And I had to bring the plants inside, which means we probably brought in some lizards and some spiders and whatever. So hopefully the cat's going to be on duty tonight. I got to go cover some stuff outside, Juan. Is that
busy
time
man, Dave? Busy man.
That time of year, but carving out time for the peeps. The other thing too was we were texting each other on New Year's Eve. So we did every year. Usually we're back home. We did New Year's Eve at my sister.
Yeah, dude, y'all had like a war.
Dude. So here's the deal. So my brother-in-law, Michael, great guy, citizen of the year, by the way. So shout out to Michael. And
for real?
For real.
Nice.
For real. I mean, like when that guy's not actual work and he's volunteering on something. I mean, it's just, more power to him. But I forget the exact. He gets so many freaking awards, but he's like citizen of the year. So congrats, Michael Reith. But we're at his house, and they got a bunch of property and big, they got a lot of space.
They got space.
And he's a firefighter or volunteer fire, all this stuff. Dude, there ain't nobody more crazy. And I'm saying crazy. He didn't just do dangerous things, but nobody loves them some fireworks more than firefighters, man. I mean,
they like fire.
Dude, and some of the stuff he had, I swear, I was saying midway through the night, we're up in Lafourche. I said, you know what? We should invade Terrebonne tonight. I said, we could take Terrebonne with one of these Excalibur.
We could at least get gray.
Yeah, one thing, because he set off some stuff while we were there that were like, unnerving to me. I'm like, man, that's kind of intense. And he had one, the big one. I guess we were well done before midnight. We blow out. We don't hang all the way till midnight. But he had one that I was like, I want to be home before you light this thing. I don't even want to be where I can see it when you light this one. But then we get back to Houma. So we're at the my in-laws live in the is it Southdown area, around where the Rouses and stuff is, and one of the Rouses in Houma. And I know there's a cop that lives on the corner because there's always a cop car there. Dude, Houma, that part of Houma on New Year's Eve is like Fallujah. I mean, it takes a lot to wake me up because they fired them that long, or just to be So shout out to you, I guess, Homa. I didn't even think it was legal in the Homa city limits, but my goodness gracious, there's some firework
No, I
activity.
don't think. Yeah, it's not legal here. They're blowing them left and right.
Dude, it was intense. Intense. I don't know how many of them were gunshots, but no, I think some were, it's a distinct, was that a boom or a crack? That's but
Well, the day, I guess, is when was New Year's Eve? So the day before New Year's Eve, the I went embarrassingly to a chiropractor, which I have to be in real pain to go to a chiropractor for whatever reason. That's just my mental thing. But and I knew I was gonna be standing up a lot at this deal, so I said I got to go get my neck cracked and all this. So they do like the pre-cracking or with an adjustment where somebody comes in and she just got that little gun on your back, little massage thing, and she's trying to have conversation. It's like I don't want to have a conversation now. Oh, would you have a good Christmas? Yeah. Would y'all have for Christmas lunch or whatever?
yeah.
I don't know. Then it's, well, what's your go-to on New Year's Eve? I said, go to bed before 10. And she said, I meant food. I said, yeah, I know what you meant.
This is me trying to nicely say, I really don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm having a party at my house and I'm trying to figure out what food to go. And I said, yeah, well, all right.
All right. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
My answer would have been
adjusted.
my answer would have been exactly what I had for lunch today. You can't go wrong with Popeyes. There's not been a human being that's ever walked into any place. In fact, if you walked into somebody's house for fancy Christmas dinner or whatever, and you just found out they had a bunch of buckets of Popeyes, you would be like, man, this is the best New Year's Eve we've ever. Now, say that my brother-in-law made chili, a good chili the day before. You do it the day before, so on the actual day, it's even better. With some and I had big old bags of Fritos there, dude. I was chowing down on some. I finally taught my youngest one, Abe. He was there. I don't know that he'd ever had chili Fritos in his life.
Yeah.
And at first he was like, what? I'm like, trust me, bro.
Man, that's some of the best parts of having a hot dog or a chili dog is using, scooping some extra chili out of there. Even French fries.
While I was because we got to close this up. We're about at that time. But while I was in Thibodeau, it was a pretty day, one of the days. And so I asked my mom, we got on the golf cart, and me and my mom went driving late afternoon. Oh, man, look, and I'm taking that golf cart where I'm semi-lying to my mom. She says, can we have the golf cart here? Yeah, we good. Sure. I'm up on the sidewalk. I'm going down.
Her son-in-law is the citizen
of the freaking year. I mean, I can get out of stuff here in Thibodeau, but I'm driving all over the place. And then I went down Good Street where I used to rent a house and around there back near the armory and the cemetery and where the teak house used to be. And then I decide I'm going to go down St. Charles because I used to live in Selimar Apartments on St. Charles. And believe it or not, Selimar Apartments have not been turned into luxury condos. That place was rough when I lived there. Dude, I lived there in 1985. I know the bricks ain't changed. There ain't no, I think half the fence is gone. There's still about 1,000 different cables coming from the thing into the building. And let's just say the clientele has a
little different.
So I'm on a golf cart with my mom, and I didn't have my gun. I didn't think when I left to have, and I guess I should. Is it legal to drive with a golf cart with a beer? So I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend. But so in the cup holder, I may have had an Abita. In a cup, not in a bottle.
You could have blamed that on your mom. She would have, yeah.
I would have. I'd have said, Liz, take a swig.
And she's an elderly lady. She just tried
that's right. She didn't know what she wanted. She thought she was
alive for one more year.
She thought she was grabbing a coffee. It turned out she grabbed somebody's beer. But anyway, so we're heading down St. Charles, and some folks start coming out their houses. And I don't know if that's because that people shouldn't be in a golf cart just driving down.
Or they thought there was an opportunity to get one.
Man, let me tell you something. I even have a nice watch on. So I realized, okay, what I got? I got my mom, I got half a beer, my good watch, and I left my gun in the car.
Mm.
So that was not exactly what I wanted to be. So guess what I found out? I found out that golf cart to do 24 miles an hour.
There you go. Dude, tell people Merry Christmas. They'll be all right.
To the waving, I was waving like I was in a fast parade.
Yeah.
They were waving back. Hey, how you doing? I was like, why are we going so fast? You don't even know, Mom. You know
Yeah. Just hang on tight.
hang on, hang on, hang on, Liz. We're about to turn a corner.
I'm gonna restrict the turns to the left so that when you lean, it's coming towards me, and I can
I will
catch
try
it.
not to throw you out the cart, Mom, but we gonna make it home. We will make it home. Speaking of making it home, bro, it's that time, man. It's that time.
There
America,
you go, bro.
the buffet is before you, guys. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. If you want to reach us, it's still not hard. It's been 3 years or so. Still not hard to do it, y'all. It's
Dude,
Dave
3,
and-
almost 4.
Is it really? My
Yes.
goodness. The value. And we still got no presidential medals of freedom. The hell?
Maybe this time.
You want to reach us, y'all. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And you found us this week.
All right, we're here.
Shout out to Rick, who apparently listens to us while he's driving into work or whatever he's doing. So you have to let him know. We referenced you this time.
Yep. Sends us notes to, confirm the accuracy of some of the things we
This
said.
time around. I may try to find the email if he checks it for the old priest that sang through everything today. I'll send it to him saying, hey, got a little shout out for you here. Once you try to smile when you leave in church. We're the ones that just sat through an hour and 20 minutes of you singing. Put a smile on your face on the way out of here, for goodness sakes. But anyway, hey, every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or subtle implication, y'all. It is a freaking
Right. It's a mandate, not even a New Year's resolution.
get out there and live your best life, man. Live your best life. We're getting ready. You're starting the first full week. We just came through a few freaky days. We don't even know what those days were. It was sort of like you just in la la land. But now,
look at it this way: no matter what weather you like, you're getting it.
yeah. Oh my gosh, 100%, 100%. And I started off. I think that I closed 1 year with chili Fritos. That was close enough to forget what I had on New Year's Day. I think I ate just junk on New Year's Day, but
we're driving on New Year's Day. I'm guessing Chick-fil-A.
by the way, hey, shout out to anybody that wants to do the Louisiana, Texas thing. Do it on New Year's Day, man. Do it. Get a good start in the morning, and man, flew like roads that I just instantly start cringing because it gets slow, especially near the state line. Woo, New Year's Day.
No, we beat the driving to Atlanta. The time that it told us to arrive, we got there like within 5 minutes of that, and you figure we stopped for lunch, stopped multiple times to get gas, go to the bathroom, but we still hit that time. So
why can't it always be like that, y'all? Y'all stay off the roads when me and Juan got to be somewhere. We'll try to let you know when that's going to happen. But anyhow, you guys have a fantastic one. Live your best life, and we'll get back next week and do this all over again.
that's right.
Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So on Christmas Day, I was chatting with my nephew, and he's his background is in he's an athletic trainer. So he's well trained in CPR, or I guess first aid and stuff like that. He was at Walmart, and there was a guy dropped out on the floor, turning blue, not breathing a lick. People are freaking out. So he steps in, does some CPR. He didn't do the mouth to mouth, but I found out he carries on his key ring a little plastic thing to cover the mouth if you got to do it. I didn't know such a thing existed.
I was about to say, help me out, Juan. If you got a plastic thing, how you blowing air?
Because it's I guess it's thin enough, or it's specifically for that. It protects you from transferring, or I guess from feeling like you're kissing some stranger.
Okay.
But didn't have to do that. But so anyway, got the guy revived. So basically, brought him back to life.
Thank you for your service, hero.
Yeah. Somebody obviously called 911. When they hear the ambulance or police or whoever is driving up, the dude popped up and took off running. So apparently, whatever caused him to stop breathing was not just a bad coincidence.
He had enough oxygen reach his brain to say, I got to get on up out of here. Yeah. You think Walmart at least gave you said it's your nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got like a some kind of discount or something. You know?
Nah, I don't think so. I think he just
I,
want to get his,
I,
he told me I had to get some chips. He might have been having chili Fritos. So he needed
I'll
to
save somebody from dying in your, you know the paperwork I just saved you guys? And Walmart would have been like, dude, we get people dying here every freaking day. You think that's the first guy that died here this week? Come on.
While you were sitting down getting ready to blow in his face, we were coming with the Narcan.
That's right. You want to see the parking lot if you want to see dead people. Come on.
It's over. Go home.